No, I'd actually spoke to your Phil. I think Phil had spoke to David Moyes about it.
About going to Everton?
Yeah.
Wow. Phil keeps a secret, doesn't he?
Phil didn't even tell you.
Do you speak to anyone? Your brother, your mate? Like...
He nearly said, Phil, who?
Look, I don't know if it had ever happened, but I would have... Because I just got the bug back for training all the time and felt fit. I might as well play. Well,
Training and games are a bit different, aren't they? Sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I knew that when I fucking on the Sunday afternoon.
We'll get back to Scholesy in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And as ever, there's something on your mind. If something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, this is a blockbuster clip. I've heard rumours of this before, but I've never heard it from the horse's mouth. And that was, Inter Milan tried to sign Paul Scholes in 2000 for, well, according to this, it was 30 million, and he was going to get 4 million after tax for the year, per year. Now, I've heard this before from different sources, and this is fascinating. And I've just had a little look at what Inter Milan's squad would have looked like around that time that Paul Scholes potentially could have been going into. But anyway, Paul Scholes is going to go into this, and yeah, I'm going to let him do that and stick around for after the clip, because the Big D is going to look at hypotheticals about what could have been for Inter Milan had Paul Scholes signed for them in the summer of 2000. Here's Scholesy.
Started with Mythbusters, right? And your third Mythbuster actually would be a good place to finish, I think.
But saying that, Scholes, you didn't look out of place when I watched him. You didn't look out of place.
No, I was all right for the first few months. I was saying it was the year after.
Yeah.
I remember we played Tottenham at home. I didn't play badly, but physically I just felt, fuck.
When you know, you know.
I was watching like Gareth Bale run past 3 or 4 of them. Look, he'd have done that to me when I was 21.
Yeah.
But it just felt different.
I couldn't get that.
Get me fucking disc out, gaffer. I couldn't even get close. I couldn't get close enough to even kick him, to even bring him down. And I remember remember the big boots you used to have?
Oh yeah, the compression boots.
I was in that for about 3 days. And I reckon that was the 3rd game of the season, and I wanted to retire again, but I can't go and see him now. I was in an ice bath for 2 days with them fucking boots on.
It's a good Halloween special, this Scholesy back from the dead.
Scholes, to be fair, I always remember, because I used to get injured, didn't I, towards the end. Scholes used
your calf used to go all the time.
my calf, and he used to start laughing. I'd be walking off the pitch devastated, thinking I've got another 4 or 5 weeks, and he'd just be laughing his head off.
No, it was every time we went on the train. Remember the first day in the pre-season, you retired. He said, "Come on, we weren't even supposed to go out and do a few runs. He said, come on, we'll go out and do a few boxes. Fucking calf went. What the fuck are you doing? But once your calf goes, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
I was done. Right, so that third Mythbuster, right, is it true that you signed for Inter Milan but Fergie blocked it? Don't answer it yet. Do we think, Scott, can't be true that?
What's signed?
He signed for Inter Milan, or he's signing for Inter Milan, and Sir Alex blocked it.
Well, the other two are myths, so I'm going to go truth.
Well, he just said there he wouldn't have gone abroad.
I know, but this was when you were 28. This would have been when you were 20. There's a rumour, there was a time where you and Giggsy were both heavily rumoured with Italian clubs, wasn't there?
Giggsy was for one,
Yeah,
Juventus, wasn't it, Giggsy?
Juventus and Inter Milan, I think AC Milan, where like they were still at that time.
Well, I'm going to probably say they probably would have wanted it. I'm going to go with that.
I'm going to go truth.
I'm not saying they wouldn't have wanted him, but not that he would have been tempted. I can't see that. He would have been tempted to sign.
Did you get made an offer from Inter Milan?
That was really aggressive, wasn't it? That turned all of a sudden.
Yes or no? Did you get made an offer?
I got a phone call from an agent.
Who?
Ryan Giggs' agent, Harris Wales.
All right.
Just said, look, I don't know if it was true or not.
A double deal going down.
No, Giggsy. Yeah, Giggsy, I forgot about that. And they said it was at the Euros. Was it Belgium and Holland?
Oh yeah, 2002.
Just beat Germany one
2000.
I remember after he said.
So 25.
Inter Milan. Was it 25? Yeah.
Yeah.
Inter Milan want to give you £4 million a year tax free.
Just say I'm not taking a pay cut.
I'll tell you something funny. We got to pre-season, obviously, Paul. You need to go and see the manager, tell him you want him more money. It's the worst thing I ever did in my life. I felt so bad.
Did you go in?
I Did, yeah.
Did you?
So Inter Milan offered you 4 million tax-free.
Well, Harry Swales did.
But to be fair, Harry was a trustworthy he's a
Yeah.
trustworthy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course he was,
Yeah.
I know, I'm not saying it was...
But 4 million tax-free is massive back then.
It was bigger than I was getting then. It probably more.
What would you have been on at United at that time?
I think it probably more than double.
More than double what you're on United?
Yeah. I remember seeing it on the back of the paper, £30 million to Inter Milan or something. But I never heard anything about it ever again after that. Right. So I obviously said no to Harry.
The reason that I think you won't have heard anything about it again, I don't know this for a fact. I suspect they've contacted the club and he's just completely shut it down and said, get out my side.
I actually, because I've still plucked up the courage, I thought, I'm still going to go.
See the manager?
Yeah. I think he said something like, I think I deserve more money, or I want to be on more money. What am I doing? Just looking at him. So he pulls a little black book out. You remember
I know
the little
the book,
black book?
yeah.
Yeah. So he's flicking through the pages for like 5 minutes. Says, no, I think you're all right. I think you're level with everyone. It's fine.
That was it?
I think what you're on's good, yeah. All right, thanks. See you later.
Jeez.
That is the worst. That's my biggest regret in football, doing that.
But just you say that, it's not mad, really. If you think of the level you were playing at the time, you just won the treble around that time. You're one of the best midfield players in Europe, and you're going in and asking for money that other clubs would offer. It's not mad at all.
Double as well. Double what other clubs
I must admit,
give.
knowing you as I did.
It is mad, don't it? 'Cause I'm at Man United. I'm at the club of my dreams.
Yeah,
anyway.
no,
Shouldn't be getting that anyway.
Yeah, but it's not a good way to start negotiations, you going in. Always let them come to you.
Yeah, but Roy Joseph, I mean, understanding what he's just said, knowing how hard that would have been for you to go and see the manager, you know,
it was horrible.
I'm hearing that for the first time. I can't believe he's done
but straight
that.
away, if you go in, and not just Scholes example, if you go and ask for a pay rise, anybody, you're already a bit...
Behind the cube.
let
You're behind
them
the
come to you.
You know, when my heart was beating, thinking about it now, 'cause I feel so bad doing it.
There needed to be a shield in front of you. So it needed an agent or management to go in and see that and do that deal. Probably.
Top of the day, you would use that going, somebody's in for they want to give them that. Are you going to match it? Yeah.
But you to have to go in to see Sir Alex like that when he's brought you through and everything, and then...
I think that was something that happened in them days, though. A lot more. It doesn't happen now.
And all you lads were always...
the agents.
You always had 2 or 3 years left in your deals. Always, it seemed to be...
Oh, we always signed 5, 6 years.
They've always signed 5, 6. So the club were always in the bargaining position going, you still have 2 years left. Chill out a little bit. You know what I mean? That's why it's probably not a great position to be in, going in asking for a deal.
Yeah.
Well, Scholesy, you came in this morning not knowing you were going to be the guest, and we didn't know you were going to be the guest, and you walked past, ambushed you, bullied you said before, to be fair, but I think you're on one of the most beautiful conversations we've had.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
Thanks, Scholesy.
Beautiful, Scholesy.
Thank you.
I love you, Scholesy.
I went to see Brian Robson when I was 17, 18. My dad said, look, you know, we've got no one to ask, and I went to see Robert. I was shaking like a leaf.
What were you asking for, money?
To be fair, they offered us our first pro contracts, me, Scholesy, Bex, John O'Kane, Keith Gillespie, Butty. We all got offered the same contract. 4 years, £210 a week, 230, 250, 200. I found my contracts last week, but I'm going to bring them in next time.
They were your first pro ones, weren't
The first pro contract, and it was £5,000 signing on for a year. And I just said, look, we're all getting offered the same thing. To Brian, is this right? And he said, yeah, no, it's good. You're all right with that. They'll look after you.
What, did you want more than us?
I deserve more than that. You know?
You wanted a throwing bonus.
Got a long throw.
What was that, 90? What was that, 90?
93, 94.
To be fair, you were playing then, you were probably in the team.
Yeah.
Everyone
I was playing for it.
They want more than
No,
us.
Scholes, Joe, I was thinking at the time, I was with England. I was playing for, I was like, I was
He's
playing for England, 200 odd quid a week. I'm like, this is not right, is it?
He was building four hotels at the time on £250 a week.
Good point, that guy.
How would you do that?
I mean, wow. I mean, you can't imagine Paul Scholes playing for any other club than Manchester United. I mean, go to Everton. Why would you want to go to Everton? Paul Scholes at Everton? No, absolutely, certainly not. I'm not even going to go into any great depth on that particular one because I don't know who in their right mind would want to play for David Moyes if they had a choice to go and play anywhere else, because he was terrible, especially if you were such a good player like Paul Scholes was. Anyway, but the Inter Milan team at the time, wow, because at that time, Serie A was still the #1 league in the world. This was a good 5 years before the Calcipoli scandal, where the referee match fixing scandal was rife, and the money fell out of it because of the scandal, and the sponsors dropped all the money as well, and Italian football was on its backside. To be fair, Inter Milan benefited from that because they got an extra couple of titles because Juventus was stripped. But still, the Serie A was still the number one league to play in the world at that time. That's where most of the best players in the world were playing. I mean, some of the players that were playing in Serie A at the time was Brazilian Ronaldo. Roberto Baggio was still knocking around as well. You had Paolo Maldini. You had Cafu. You had Christian Vieri. Remember him? You had Clarence Seedorf as well. You had Andrei Shevchenko. You had Rui Costa. You had... who else was playing? Alessandro Del Piero. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I mean, the list goes on. And adding Paul Scholes to that list, I mean, why not? And to be fair, Paul Scholes would have slotted into Italian football nicely. It suited his game. He was very intellectual. He was very tactically astute. He was very technically astute as well. When I say intellectual, I mean on a football pitch. I'm not talking about anything in terms of like analysing political history or anything like that. But in terms of football and playing, he would have suited it to the ground. He could quite easily have slotted next to, say, a Clarence Seedorf or a Antonio Conte or any of those guys, Zinedine Zidane. Absolutely no problem at all. And if you remember, it was Zinedine Zidane that actually said that Paul Scholes was the best central midfielder in the world. Right, so he would have slotted in there, absolutely no problems at all. But whether or not he'd suited Inter Milan is a different kettle of fish. And I'm just having a look at the Inter Milan squad at the time. And to be fair, it was a seasonal. It was a transition for Inter Milan back then because that summer they brought in no fewer than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 new players. And standout players include Robbie Keane from Coventry City for, well, just under 20 million euros. Francisco Farinos from Valencia. After they just got into a Champions League final, they bought him for just under 17 million euros. And Hakan Şükür from Galatasaray for just under 7 million euros. But they also brought in a young Andrea Pirlo from Regina. Well, no, I tell a lie. Andrea Pirlo was already at Inter Milan at the time, but he had been on loan at Regina and he'd returned. Yeah, I mean, those are some big names. And in the transfer window in the summer, in the winter transfer window, they also brought in Pro Evolution Soccer legend from Flamengo, and that was Adriano. And they brought him in for just over 13 million euros. Now, players that left Inter Milan, some big names. Roberto Baggio went to Brescia. Angelo Peruzzi went to Lazio. And at the time, Angelo Peruzzi was still, I mean, I'm pretty sure, was he? No, I don't think he was the Italian number one at the time. But he was still a world-class goalkeeper. They let go Francesco Colonnesi, and he sent him to Lazio. And at the time, Lazio were buying lots of players as well. And if I'm not mistaken, Sven-Göran Eriksson was spending a lot of Italian money that summer. They also let go Cristiano Zanetti. Christian Panucci went to Chelsea on loan, and they also sent out Nicola Ventola on loan, as well as, let me see, is that it? No. But they sold Adrian Mutu as well. And the team, the squad that they had, I mean, they had players like Sebastian Frey, who was a good goalkeeper. They had Ivan Cordoba, Colombian central defender, he was good. Obviously, they had a prime Javier Zanetti as well. Laurent Blanc was still there, although probably losing his legs a little bit. They had Brazilian Ronaldo, they had Clarence Seedorf. But what I would say is Brazilian Ronaldo, I think I think he was pretty much out for the count at that point. He was still injured with his dodgy knee. They didn't actually have that good of a team. I mean, it was all right, but it wasn't world class, so I'm not surprised that they wanted to sign Paul Scholes, because they had Luigi Di Biagio, Recoba was there as well. Yeah. So, I mean, they were dangerous, but they weren't great. They finished 5th that season. Christian Vieri was their top scorer. He was good. And they played 3-4-3. So, I mean, they were all right, but they weren't as good as the United team. I mean, the United team at the time, in 2000, well, they'd just come off the treble. So you had a midfield still, a prime Roy Keane, prime Paul Scholes, prime David Beckham, prime Ryan Giggs, supporting prime Andy Cole and Dwight York. Yeah, did we still have Jaap Stam at the time at the back? Yeah, we were still a world-class team. And we were just on the verge of signing Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think we tried to sign Ruud van Nistelrooy that summer, but he broke down, injured. But, so, yeah, Paul Scholes staying at Man United was an absolute no-brainer. Going to Inter Milan, doesn't matter what kind of money they were throwing at him, would have just been a stupid move. So it's just a good thing that Paul Scholes was still in love with Manchester United, because I can imagine, like, just your average footballer might have just looked at that money and thought, yeah, why not? I've achieved everything at Man United. I'm going to go to Inter Milan. And Inter Milan didn't do anything for years. For years, they didn't do anything. It wasn't until 2010 that they won the European Cup. So they still had another 10 years before they would win the European Cup. So that being said, Man United would have to wait another 8 years to win a European Cup. But they still won a few titles in the meantime. But anyway, what do you guys think? What would the world have been like if Paul Scholes had signed for Manchester, had left Manchester United and signed for Inter Milan in 2000? Who would United have bought to replace him? Could it have been Patrick Vieira? Who knows? But thoughts in the comments, and the Big D will see you in the next one.